Here, read this script and tell me how you solve this problem, because I want to see the skull change. And the big thing, I wanted it to be painful. Because if your hand goes from, you know, this to a paw, you know, I really wanted it to be painful. I mean, because the human form, you know, it's weird. You know, I wanted the skull to elongate, and just the cracking of the bones, and just make it horrific. You know, essentially it's an erection metaphor.
God! Fire! I'm burning up!
Well, a lot of it has to do with adolescence, you know. I mean, I remember the whole thing of metamorphosis. You know, when your body is changing, that's what puberty is about. You know, you're getting hairy. I mean, all of a sudden, your dick's getting hard. I mean, these weird things are happening to you. And you're hungry, and you're horny, and your hormones are raging.
Sing a prayer for someone I really...
What I was proposing for Rick is the worst possible thing you can do a makeup artist, which is no cutaways and harsh, bright, fluorescent light. I mean, there's no way for him to trick you. You know, it has to happen on camera.
Then suddenly there appeared for me the only when I heard somebody whisper, "Please adore me." And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold.
Help me!
I want to see the ribs in his back, his spine arch. You had to believe it was painful. You had to share his physical agony. There are moments when I bet you think it's a puppet when it's actually the actor, and moments when it's the actor and you probably think it's a puppet. I probably showed it too much. I was very enamored with it. In the Ultimate Wolf, I think you see it too much in the movie now, but at the time I thought it was so cool. You know, the most successful shot of the werewolf in the film is in the tube station when it's pursuing this guy.
Good Lord.
And he falls on the escalator, and there's a high shot down the escalator, and the wolf comes into the shot, and you see how big it is, and it's from quite a distance. So it's the best kind of shot, because you see it, but you don't see it. My favorite shot in the movie of this, which I was taken aback when I saw it on the transfer, was the Bobby goes into the cinema with his torch, and he looks, and the wolf sort of looks up at him. And there's this disemboweled man there, and he looked pretty scary there. Here's Rick using the werewolf about to bite off the inspector's head in Piccadilly Circus. Camera would cut this part off. We were making American Werewolf in London, obviously, and we just wrapped when the Brixton riots happened.
remember that Margaret Thatcher blamed it on youthful hooligans, and race was not an issue. I just remember. That's right, Maggie.
Sean, those hooligans are in the park again.
I love the idea of youthful hooligans. It's like crazy hooligans.
The Wolfman, as conceived by Kurt Siodmak, he's a tragic figure. It's sad. And it's so interesting because he becomes something other that kills.
Did you ever see The Wolfman?
Is that the one with Oliver Reed?
No, the old one.
I don't think so.
Bela Lugosi bites Lon Chaney Jr. and he turns into a werewolf.
Why are you telling me this?
No, listen. Claude Rains is Lon Chaney's father and he ends up killing him.
So?
Well, I think that a werewolf can only be killed by someone who loves him.
The way you walked was thorny, through no fault of your own. But as the rain enters the soil, the river enters the sea. So tears run to a predestined end. Your suffering is over. Now you will find peace for eternity.
And you have to realize, this guy, Larry Talbot, he's for me, this Kurt Siodmak's character, he's one of the great tragic figures. The Wolfman is so sad. He's a guy, he has cancer. Only instead of killing him, he's killing everybody. He spends all 4 movies trying to kill himself.
I could hang myself.
No, if you did it wrong, it could be painful. You'd choke to death.
So what? Let him choke.
Do you mind? The man's a friend of mine.
Well, he's no friend to me.
Gentlemen, please.
The gun. I know where you can get a gun.
Don't I need a silver bullet or something?
Oh, be serious, would you?
Madness.
No, a gun would be good.
Yes, you just put the gun to your forehead and pull the trigger.
But if you put it in your mouth, you'd be sure not to miss.
Ultimately, the poor werewolf, he's such a schmuck, there's a wonderful joke, okay? This to me defines the werewolf. There's a husband and wife are having an argument in Los Angeles. And finally she says, I'm not arguing with any of you. Forget it. The argument's over. He says, what do you mean? She goes, it's useless, it's pathetic, it's a waste of time. He goes, oh yeah? She goes, yeah. And you know why? He says, why? She says, because you're a schmuck. He goes, I'm a schmuck. She says, no, you're not a schmuck. You are the schmuck. If the city of Los Angeles needed an official schmuck, to represent the city in a statewide, if California needed the California state, wait a minute, if the United States needed an American schmuck, if there was a U.S. schmuck to represent it at the International Schmuck Olympics, if the world needed a schmuck, if there was a competition for schmuck of the world, you would get second place. He says, well, why would I get second place? She says, because you're a schmuck. And that's what I feel about the Wolfman. The guy cannot win.
Aren't you going to say I told you so?
If I were still alive, I probably would. But I did tell you so, you schmuck.